Greetings, everybody. Today we're going to take a look at a very important topic. As today's topic is how is the PTE academic exam score evaluated? We're going to take a look at those parameters that you must have in mind because the exam is not evaluated in a traditional way. Everybody might think that there are 10 questions, and if you have 5 out of them, then you'll have a good exam. However, that's not how it works. This exam has a very unique way of evaluation. For the following reason, the PTE exam, the Pearson Test English Academic, has a certain level of uniqueness into how it is evaluated. What do we have to have in consideration? First of all, that not all the questions have the same value. Most of the questions have impact in at least 2 different bands. Questions that are relevant, such as read aloud, or repeat sentence are evaluated in more than one basis. For example, in the case of repeat sentence, this is a question that evaluates not only your listening ability, but your speaking ability. Both of them are rated simultaneously, so it is important for you to understand what's the value of these questions, which are of high relevance, medium relevance, or low relevance. First of all, we must understand how the PTE academic works. What we must have very clear is that we must select our test center. We must identify if in the city we are located there is an available test center. Otherwise, we must find out where do we have to move in order to take this test. Let's remember that this is an exam that is 100% done in a computer. The duration of the exam is about 2 hours or 2 hours and 15 minutes long. It is a very brief exam, and in those 2 hours you will not have access to a break or a recess. You will take a seat, and 2 hours after, that'll be it. You will be done. This is an exam that really evaluates you in a very specialized way. It will evaluate your correct abilities in writing, reading, speaking, and listening. The exam has 20 different types of questions. During the course, we're going to take a look at those different techniques for each of the 20 different types of questions. There are 20 different ways to evaluate, there are 20 different criteria. The questions are fairly different, so each one has a different way to be evaluated from the other one. What's the most important here is that we must understand what are those 20 different questions about. If you really want to have a great score in the exam, then the recommendation is for you to learn all the strategies there are. How are the questions evaluated? Which are the questions with a higher impact? How are they evaluated? How you can win marks and how you can miss marks. Now, the next step is to make a booking for your exam. Remember that you get your exam test results within 5 work days. As we have previously mentioned, you might receive your exam within a day or a day and a half. In some cases, you might even get your exam just 3 hours after you've done it. Now, the 3 main parts of the exam. The first part will evaluate your speaking and writing. It has a duration of 54 to 67 minutes approximately. It is very brief, and this is possibly the most intense part, the harshest part. The exam is designed like this in order for you to prove your best speaking abilities when you're at your fullest stamina or before you get tired. So the first 4 questions will strongly evaluate your speaking abilities. From there on, you don't need to worry that much about your speaking ability. It is important for you to understand how each one of these sections evaluated. During the lessons that you're about to take, you'll be able to take a look at the core of each one of these sections and how are their questions criteria. Alright, so part 2 evaluates reading, and this is about 29 to 30 minutes. This is a very concrete part of the exam. Here it is pretty strict to the point. Your reading ability will be tested, your capacity to understand written texts. You will encounter 5 different types of questions. These are very specialized questions that, beyond looking at your reading ability, are trying to find out if you can understand the academic texts, as all the used texts are academic types. And finally, there is the listening part. And this last part has 8 different types of questions And here your listening skill will be evaluated. What you will do is to listen a series of audios or you will watch a video, and after that you'll have to answer your questions. In these 8 sections there are different types of questions, as we're going to take a look on the course how you will be able to optimize and get your best score for the exam. As we've mentioned earlier, the exam has a criteria of evaluation from 10 to 90 points. The results are extremely fast. This scale of comparison is versus IELTS. IELTS being the most popular English exam. 6 points in the IELTS is equivalent to 50 points in the PTE. If you follow all the strategies that we have to offer, I guarantee you will have more than 65 points, as our methodology has been certified. It has been proved, and we've analyzed it with experts around the world. We have, by many methods, proved that our methodology is unique. It is special and it will help you obtain that special score that you need. Because, of course, we all aspire to get more than 75 marks. And that'll be the equivalent of an English type C. Let's not forget that the exam evaluates each of the bands separately and individually. The listening, the reading, the speaking, the writing, the overall score is an average of these 4 main aspects. From a secondary part, the secondary bands are part of some criteria that is not being present in the later exams. In your results, you will not see the secondary marks, only the principal marks. Now, unfortunately, in this new presentation of the scores, you will not be able to see what were your mistakes in the reading area or in the speaking parts. Yeah, we lost those characteristics, but however, this is a very fast revised exam. With our course, you'll be able to find out where you're making the mistakes in the enabled skills, and everything you need in order to constantly practice for the exam. In general terms, it is important to understand that the comparison between the PT academic and the IELTS are very similar. The main difference is that it is 100% evaluated by a computer and they give you a range from 10 to 90. As we can see, IELTS is from 0 to 9, a TOEFL is from 0 to 120, and as we mentioned, the PT is from 10 to 90. All the 3 exams have a validness of 2 years. And till this day, the most short exam is the PT with a duration of about 2.5 hours. Here we have stated 3 hours considering the preparations and all the computer setup that are needed. This preparation time contemplates your ID verification, the certification that you're not bringing any unsolicited elements, and that you're not bringing any recording devices with you. But the exam is exactly 2 or 2 and 15 minutes. And the exam is always fully done in the computer. If you want a deeper or more elaborate comparison between scores, then feel free to take a screenshot of the table below. Or in the lesson below, you will have more information and have access to the detailed information. Alright, so testimonials, there are a lot around the world. The PT to be a very friendly exam, to be very friendly with the user, that the results are very appropriate. The person recommendation is to register, to get prepared, to take the test, and to view and send your scores. Now, we recommend the following. First of all, get prepared, get ready, and then you can register. Because with our preparation course, you'll be able to get to know the 20 different kinds of questions, how to get the most amount of points in each one of them, how you might miss those marks. You'll also be able to practice using artificial intelligence. In our software, you'll also be able to measure your progress and your level. Then, after you're done practicing and doing different dummy tests, then you can register. Take the test, get a great score in it, and finally view and send your scores. And finally, you'll be able to enjoy your results and make your dream a reality. We highly recommend you to follow the Pearson PT Academic and get more information about the benefits and challenges that comes with this exam. Also, in which institutions is this exam accepted? It is commonly accepted between many colleges, and each passing day even more universities accept it. Now, this has been all for today, but I highly recommend you to take a look at the other lessons. because in each one of them we're going to analyze which are the sections in writing in the first part, the second part, the third part, how are their respective marks, and especially we recommend you to study closely the section of the exam marks. If you fully understand the exam, if you get how the algorithm works, then I guarantee your score will be absolutely great. Well, thank you, and see you next lesson. Goodbye.